sometimes you don't know the best thing for yourself. Sure. But two, working and teaching the classes and filming on-demand content, it can really throw any type of routine that you have way off the hinges. So I do tend to do the one-offs simply because I never know what I'm going to be doing on any given day. So if I had to film a leg workout today, then I know that tomorrow I'll just end up I'll find something that hits upper body, core, something like that. And I can just pick and choose.
Hit the gym, better do it smart. Get your own coach, there where you are. Start the day right, there in your home. With the smartest gym in the world, ready, set, go. Smart handle, smart bar, smart training, there you are. Customizing it right, AI form advice. Superset will show you what it's all about. It's a total workout.
Welcome to the Superset Podcast, episode 37. This is Crystal O'Keefe.
And this is Tom O'Keefe. And I'm out of breath.
Yeah, you just tonaled.
I just tonaled.
You went straight from the tonal to the microphone.
I did.
So yeah, that'll do it.
It will do it. And speaking of tonal, you hit a tonal milestone.
I hit 1 million pounds.
Look at you.
Woo!
Which is coincidentally what I weighed before I started using tonal.
That's not true.
No.
It only took me 2 years to do it. I've been really focusing on cardio this year.
Yeah,
so
totally.
I've had to slow down the weights and I have missed it. I can't wait till I get to the size I want to get to, and then I'm going to hit the weights hard, and I cannot wait. It's going to be awesome.
Awesome. You cannot wait to wait.
I cannot wait to wait.
So, what we should probably tell people too. This is our last show of the year.
Yes.
So savor it.
Savor every word,
every morsel. So we will be back after the first of the year. So just
all new guests, and if you know anybody that you would like to nominate, for the Superset to be interviewed, please reach out to me. You can reach out to me at clipoutcrystal@gmail.com. And we will reach out and make it happen if possible.
Absolutely. So I guess what, pray tell, do you have in store for people this week?
Well, there has been a lot going on in the tonal community. There are so many amazing things to talk about that are just like events. So we're going to talk about those. We're also going to talk about the new challenge that's coming up, the new tonal partner communities. We're going to talk about what's going on with those. We're also going to talk about new features that have dropped and, of course, like a bazillion new workouts that we need to cover.
Awesome. Well, before we get to all that, shameless plugs, don't forget we're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast, iHeart, TuneIn, wherever you find a podcast, you can find us. While you're there, be sure and follow us so you never miss an episode. You can also, while you're there, leave us a review so the people that come along after you know that we're worth a listen.
We would really appreciate it.
That is very helpful.
Yes, it is.
You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Superset Podcast. Sorry, I forgot which podcast I was doing there for a second. I was like, real spoilers. No. Clip. No. Superset. There we go. Superset. You can, while you're there, be sure and like the page and join the group. And don't forget, you can watch these episodes in HD, and we now have even HDer cameras.
Yes, we do.
So it'll be even more crisper. So I think you're freaking people out. Freaking me out a little bit. So you can find that at youtube.com/theclipout, where all of our podcast episodes live, except for real spoilers because they're too cheap to film it. So
zing.
So
you know you're on that show, right?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So there's all that. Let's dig in, shall we?
We shall.
So, as we alluded to at the beginning of the episode, the end of the year is almost upon us. And I don't know if you know what happens after the end of the year.
The new year starts?
The start of a new year.
That's typically how it works.
Yeah.
One thing ends, another begins.
Fingers crossed.
I mean, it's not 1999 all over again.
Yes.
Although some days feels a little closer to the end of the world than it did back then. But anyway... We'll keep it positive.
Yes.
But there is a really cool teaser that Kate posted out on the official Tonal community that they are quote unquote cooking up an awesome January challenge to help start your new year strong. And she says that she can't give away all the surprises just yet, but for the first time ever, they will be offering nutritional support throughout the month via recipes, meal prep, and 2 community cook-alongs.
Ooh.
So they're going to be able to meal prep together virtually with a coach, and they're going to be on Sundays to fire us up for the week ahead. So we're going to be able to do these 2 times together. I'm excited about this. I'm very excited to see what they are cooking up.
Yeah, I'm too weird of an eater for that stuff to work for me.
Oh, for sure.
They'll never come up with something for me.
This will be me. I will be alone. You can just drop in and say hi to people.
Hello. I'm having a chicken finger. Also, while we're speaking of things Kate is telling us about.
Yeah, so every year Kate puts together a survey to talk about like for us to talk about as the Tonal community, what works, what doesn't work, what do we want to see next year, and it is time. It is time for the survey. She has put together a new and improved survey.
Ooh.
But get this year, if you enter your email address, you're going to be entered to win a $100 gift card to the Tonal Gear Shop.
Oh, how about that?
But all answers are still going to be anonymous. You don't have to worry about like giving feedback that's going to upset somebody.
Okay.
Now, the survey only takes 3 to 5 minutes to complete, and she is aiming to collect at least 600 responses by December 21st. Can we make it happen?
Ooh, a challenge within a challenge, or a challenge after a challenge.
A challenge after a challenge, yeah. The last time she put out numbers, we killed it. We crushed it in like 7 hours.
That is true.
Let's see if we can do it again.
The pressure is on. And then we talked a while back about Tonal and their partner communities, and they're really starting to see some engagement.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that's going on this week, so I wanted to make sure we highlighted it. Even if it's already happened when you're listening to this podcast, please take a moment and go back, because most of these will be they're going to be saved out there. So the first one is Tonal LGBTQ plus and allies. They are having an event, Keeping It Real with Coach Pablo. It occurred on December 13th at 4 p.m. Pacific. And this is a monthly live stream that Pablo does. And Patrick is going to be interviewing Coach Pablo about his life, career, and everything. Okay, not everything in between. So that'll be fun. And yeah, definitely, we don't want to know everything.
Also, it would be a very long interview.
It would.
Everything is a lot to talk about.
That's true. And I don't get the sense that Coach Pablo is boring. So I feel like there would be a lot of everything, even compared to the normal everyday everything.
His everything is more than our everything.
Yes.
Because he leads such an exciting life.
Exactly. And then next up is in the Tonal Dads group, Taking Action with Coach Jackson. Boy, that's fun to say.
Yeah.
In Monday, December 13th, that took place at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Coach Jackson hosted his first episode of his monthly live stream in the Tonal Dads group. So how exciting is that? All the coaches are going to have all these episodes every month. I'm getting a little jealous, over here. And we cannot forget the Tonal XXL community, Extra Loud with Coach Natalie. December 14th, 5 p.m. Pacific. Coach Natalie will be talking about adopting a new mindset for the new year. Do not miss out. That's amazing.
Yeah.
What a great idea.
Absolutely. It's nice to see the interaction with the groups.
Yeah, I love how Tonal embraces it. You know, they're not like well, we don't like all these groups, or we acknowledge these groups are there, but we're not going to do anything. Like they're not only acknowledging, they're embracing. I love that. What a great way to handle it.
Totally. So if you've had your Tonal for a bit and you're wondering if there are things you need to do as kind of general maintenance on them, Kate, once again, had a wonderful post about things you need to do to keep your Tonal tip top.
Yeah, she added to the guides that she's been keeping on Facebook and the official Tonal community. And this one is called How to Maintain Your Tonal. So if you go to search for it, that's how you find it.
Okay.
But it says that you should inspect your Tonal monthly or after every 10 uses for any signs of damage or wear using these 4 steps. And so you're looking at the arms, you're looking at the cables, you're looking at the smart accessories. There's a 4th one, but it's under See More, and I can't.
Boop.
You can also inspect the trainer itself and do the routine power cycle. And within that, there are detailed guides on how to do the maintenance inspection, how to do the power cycle. So if you're not sure how to do those things, don't worry, Kate's got you covered.
And then turning our eyes to the Tonal blog, they had a good article about how strength training can help runners.
So you might remember a while back, just before the New York Marathon, they were looking for folks, Tonal was looking for folks to train as they prepared for their marathon. Do you remember that?
I do.
So there were 3 lucky people chosen. And if you read through this blog, it gives you links to all 3 of those individual stories. They all completed their marathon.
Well, that's great.
And they did an amazing job. And of course, it was due to Tonal. So there were 3 individuals. Eric Castro was the first one.
Okay.
And then the second one was Chris Klessig. And then the third one was Jennifer Byers. And so all 3 of them were featured talking about their Tonal, how they got ready for the marathon, and then they were featured. How cool is that?
That's very cool. I'm glad that they have those tips for people. And it's nice to see them like reach out to people one-on-one that are competing in a major event like that and just giving them extra guidance.
Absolutely. Very lucky folks that were able to do that.
New Tonal features.
Well, good news for people that would like different music when they use their Tonal, but they don't have Apple.
Yeah, Amazon Music is now available on Tonal. And the cool thing is you don't have to already subscribe to Amazon to be able to use this. Of course, you could still subscribe.
Sure.
But there's Prime Music that everybody who has Prime already has access to. And then there's like Music Unlimited. And so that's a separate fee altogether. And so you can use either of those. The way I understand this blog, you can use either of them to log into your Tonal and access the music. So the one that comes with your Prime membership is like access to 2 million kind of like, I want to call them stock songs for lack of a better way to say it. But I just mean that it's not like you made playlists. It's songs that you can just have access to.
Gotcha.
Versus the Prime Music or the unlimited music, whatever they call it, you can go in and make your own playlists and things like that, like you do on Apple Music or like you do on Spotify. So there's different ways to use this. And I think that it's great that they're able to offer this. And I know I keep seeing it on the official Tonal community. So I just want to mention that people keep saying, give us Spotify, give us Spotify, give us Spotify. But again, Spotify is the one that is saying we're not going to do any more fitness partnerships right now. So Tonal really can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with them at this point. So very cool that this ability is there for Amazon.
Also, there's another new feature that I think people have probably been wanting, which is you can now see how many calories you've burned on a workout.
Yeah, it actually calculates it whenever you put in your heart rate monitor. It's able to see like your height and weight, and then it is able to calculate it. So now it's finally there, calories burned. And of course, it's an estimate. And of course, there is no one way to do it. So no matter what calories it's saying that you burn on there, it is an estimate.
Right.
It's going to be different for everybody. So like, don't get too hung up on that. It's
Yeah.
just a guide.
You did what you did.
Exactly.
Regardless of what number was put on it.
Exactly.
New Tonal content.
As always, there is tons of new content.
So much.
There are tons of new content.
And some of this dropped in time for the holidays. There's new warm-ups. There was the Heat It Up with Coach Francis, and there's new meditation, Train the Mind with Coach Allison. So it's kind of like thinking, it's getting you ready to perform. I really like those meditations that they do that are kind of like getting you ready and prepped for your workouts.
Right.
I have had a surprising amount of enjoyment doing those. And then of course there's new yoga, Wake Up with Yoga with Coach Francis, new bar, Burn Out The Glutes with Coach Gabby. There's new cardio, Mind and Movement Push with Coach Liz, new strength, Burning Abs with Coach Brendan. And boy, do they burn. 17 minutes doesn't seem like that long until your abs hurt. There's new quick fit. There's an upper body trim with Coach Paul. And then another new yoga, Twist Recovery Flow with Coach Francis, Full Body Power Flow with Coach Brett, Pilates. This time it's Intro to Pilates with Coach Francis. So if you're just getting started, this is a perfect one for you. New bar, Deep Core Bar. Again, 16 minutes does not sound that long until you are doing deep core. I love these new warm-ups. Work It warm up with Coach Nicolette. New mobility, sore upper body flow with Coach Venus. So this is specifically for after you've done a workout where you feel so sore and tight in your upper body. This is the flow you want to do.
Oh, I thought they were telling you how you were going to feel when you were done.
No.
They were like, heads up, sore upper body.
This is perfect for people who are need to have a sore upper body. This is going to help you get your mobility back. And then
so I guess you could pair that with the abs one.
Yes.
That you just did.
Yeah, there you go. And then there's mobility for core strength with Coach Venus. And then there's another new recovery, go-to mobility recovery with Coach Nicolette. New boxing on the go with Coach Woody. So no matter where you are, you can get a good workout in. And then of course, new family fitness, kids camp, snow games with Coach Gabby. How fun is that?
Absolutely.
Coaches in the news.
So Coach Natalie had a nice post.
She sure did. I really like that the coaches post these really personal messages.
Yeah.
She talked about how back on December 7th, she posted about how she struggles with getting a little depressed during the days that are colder and shorter. Mm-hmm. And so she very purposefully uses her mental health toolbox. And that includes for her getting outside and movement, even if it's just a quick fit, that even if it's in her pajamas, that's an amazing win.
Yeah.
And then this might be my favorite, reviewing her happy messages folder. She says, yep, to those of you who have reached out to me with kind or funny messages, I totally save those and they are a gift on my rainy days. Love that. Reading my done accomplished list. So things that she's done over the last year. So if she ever feels down about what she's accomplished, she can see, hey, I did do things and I am proud of those things that I did. And then telling herself she's striving for good enough, not perfect. She said that they've just did a tonal talk on this and good enough has been ringing in her head ever since. And I think that is very smart. Her gold standards are talk therapy, anti-anxiety medication, and reaching out to her loved ones. She goes on to say that she knows she's not the only one who struggles with mental health this time of year. And for those of you who can relate, this would be good time for you to review your own tools and to see what helps get you through to sunnier days. And I just love this. So vulnerable and open. And a lot of people struggle this time of year. A lot of people struggle all year. And it's been a crazy couple of years.
Yeah.
So
I've noticed.
Had you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like the idea of like keeping the good emails in another folder so you can like go peek back at them on a bad day. That's a good idea.
It is a good idea. I need to do that. I need a happy messages folder.
You do.
Look who's talking about Tonal.
Self Magazine listed the 18 best smart home gym all-in-one workouts. And of course, Tonal made the list.
I love that Tonal made the list. They absolutely should. It is one of the best home gyms. And in my mind, if you're looking for a personal trainer, it is the best home gym. If you want strength, this is it. There's just hands down, that's what you need. Period.
Absolutely, and it says that it got the self certified, which it's Self Magazine, so it's not like Tonal went out and certified itself. Just to be clear.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yes,
yeah.
It's like weird when you say it out loud, but yes, it got a self certification for the Tonal, so they were very happy with it. They actually gave it a 9 out of 10 in their review.
Wow,
so that's pretty good recommendation.
It is. I agree with Self, although I'd give it a 10 out of 10. But I recognize I'm a little biased.
And this isn't necessarily new news, but I just thought it was interesting. There was a year-end list from analyticsindiamag.com, and they just kind of spotlighted all the different AI startups that gained unicorn status in 2021.
Yeah, it's a huge accomplishment. We cannot overlook that Tonal reached this year, being a unicorn, especially in, again, such a crazy year.
Yeah.
So were there a ton of companies on this list? Because I honestly didn't hear a ton of unicorns, and I certainly don't know that I heard any other fitness.
Yeah, I don't know that there were any other fitness ones, but this list is specific to AI based companies. And so they actually say in the upfront about there were actually quite a few this year. Like the list is pretty long, but it's not necessarily all fitness related. It's just lots of different industries that are starting to adopt this technology. And then if you're the if you're doing it right, you're going to take off like a rocket.
Well, Tonal's doing it right. Love it. Congrats to Tonal.
Tonal and celebs.
I think we all know my deep and abiding love of sports, but especially golf. And there was an article in Golf Digest talking about how a golfing guy's golf teacher likes Tonal.
Yeah, and so the way you say it makes it sound like no big deal.
I'm sure it is a big deal, but like it means nothing to me. But I think it's a very I can tell by the outlet and
the graphics.
Right, that it's a big deal. It's just
So Bryson DeChambeau, which I'm sure I'm butchering, his coach, Chris Como.
Not Chris Cuomo.
I know. When I first read this, I was like, wait, what? Let me clear my eyes out. Hang on.
This is bad timing. But no, that's COMO.
Yes, Chris Como. He took Golf Digest behind the scene to look at his new speed studio, but front and center in his speed studio was a Tonal. Ta-da. And he talked about, specifically in the actual article, he talks about how he uses his Tonal to get stronger. In fact, he even uses a move that was referred to. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was a move that he uses on the Tonal to get stronger. Yeah. And somebody asked in the official Tonal community, is this move like listed in all of the new moves? And Kate said, not currently. I think we might be seeing some new moves added to the trainer soon.
Well, and the fact that he's already got access to it, is he an investor?
I don't know.
Is he about to be an investor?
Maybe he's a beta tester.
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder.
It does.
And for people watching on the YouTube channel, you can see by the ads that I'm being serviced which type of microphone we use.
That's true. That is true. I don't have that ring though. What have you been searching?
I don't know. I think they're like, well, if you can afford that mic, you can afford this ring. They're not used to most podcasters podcasting with their wives. And so I think they're like, if you spent that kind of money on a microphone, you better buy your wife something nice. But we're in a relationship where that was the something nice.
That's true. It's true.
Tonal Talks.
So this isn't technically a Tonal Talk. It's just we don't have a sweeper for it, and it's Tonal Talk adjacent. So I'm using the fancy sweeper. You just got a deal.
Yeah, and what is the name of this that I sent you earlier?
It's like something, Mom.
Oh, Strong Like a Mother.
There we go.
That's gonna Strong Like a Mother is going to be the name of a new series that is going to be done within the official Tonal community on Facebook Live, and Coach Amy is going to be talking about adapting your Tonal to pregnancy, postpartum, and general mom life. Coach Amy also talks through modifications and adjustments, as well as she's demonstrating on Tonal. The first one took place on December 6th. So if you haven't gotten a chance to check it out and you're interested, you are a mom or you know someone who's a mom, please go back and take a look at it. And I believe there are going to be more of these because, like I said, it is the first in this series. So that is really cool.
Checking in with the Tonal team.
So joining us today via the magic of ZoomTube, it's Kendall Wood, a.k.a. Coach Woody. Hey, how's it going?
It is going so great. What a pleasure to be here.
Oh, we are so excited.
Yes,
I love the energy, too. She's bringing it in. So exciting.
And I'm going to have to be energetic.
Yeah. Bring it up in halftime.
We're actually going to work out. During this contest.
I already did that today. So there.
You did? Okay. Yeah. Well, tell us what you did, Tom.
I did I'm doing the 4 weeks to fat loss.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
again.
This is his second time
I did 1 and 2, and now I'm doing 1 again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good program, so I can't blame you.
I mean, I'm less fat now. So I can show you the pictures. Like the proof
is there.
The proof is in the lack of pudding.
You were the instructor that I got to do the first live workout with you. I was there.
Was I?
Yes.
What an honor.
I was very excited.
Was this day 1?
It was day 1.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I was full of adrenaline that day.
Understandable.
You might say that I went out there and blacked out.
It didn't show. You were conscious the whole time.
I came off the stage and everyone was like, hey, how'd it go? How'd it feel? And I'm like, I don't know what I said. You tell me. How did it go? How did it look? But it was a great time. I'm happy that you were there for that because it was an awesome feeling.
Yeah, I was super excited. I felt like I was like really part of history,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The first. So
it's funny that you don't remember what you said because it's like, I was like, oh, we get that. Where people were like, oh, you said such and such. And I'm like, I did?
Did I? Yeah.
It was so funny when you said this. Just okay.
That's when that's also when you're like in that groove space, that flow state where it's just, you're dishing out the goodness.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about it too much and you're thinking about it later, like, oh man, why did I say that?
That's
never a good thing.
Yeah.
That is a really good point. Very good point. So let's back up. How did you first like become aware of Tonal? Like that they were out there.
So Tonal reached out to me. I had been in conversations with Tonal since February, 2021. And it was around then that I became aware of the company and started to really learn about them and what they were all about. And obviously I was hooked instantly. But suffice it to say, it was when Tonal initially reached out to me that I really became aware of the brand.
Wow. That's pretty cool to be reached out to. I bet that was like,
so what, do you know what you did? What did you do to get them to notice you?
Wow. Put her on the spot, Tom.
Yeah. We were coming into one full year of the pandemic, of quarantine.
Yes.
And over quarantine, I kind of had to, 180 and do something with myself and my business as a personal trainer, fitness professional. So I had taken everything online. I was utilizing Facebook and Zoom as like my tools. And I think that that's probably how they recognized me, was through Instagram. And I was teaching a lot of live classes, free live classes through Instagram. And it was a blast. I actually really enjoyed it. And I do think that teaching those classes on Instagram gave me some tools that would prepare me unknowingly for this job.
How cool is that? Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. But yeah, I think that's probably how they came across me.
That's cool. It's great when like you just like you have a passion and you're doing your thing, and then someone else is like, oh, I have this other thing that you can pivot to, and also here's some money. Like,
right.
Yeah.
That is a plus.
Let's not overlook the here's some money part.
Now, were you already located in LA, or did you have to like change things around?
I was already located in LA.
Okay.
I have been here for about 6 years. I actually moved here and was not working in fitness.
Oh.
I used to work in digital media.
Oh,
I was
really?
an editor for a website, yes, for quite some time. And it was when I moved out to LA that I kind of started dipping my toe into fitness, and then I just took the full plunge.
Wow. So now when it comes to fitness, has it always been part of your life? Like, have you always been an active person, or did you have some times you weren't? How did that work?
There were definitely some times that I wasn't. Not gonna lie about that. I was always an athlete growing up. I played softball and I was a cheerleader my entire childhood. And then I went to college. I actually went to Penn State.
Okay.
Which is a notorious party school. And I had a great 4 years at Penn State. But I wasn't particularly active per se. And then it was when I graduated and I moved to New York City that, I started getting into this routine and how is fitness going to fit into my lifestyle. And I was just kind of trying things here and there, maybe a group fitness class. I had a gym membership. I would go to the gym and run on the treadmill, but didn't really have a plan. And then when I moved to LA, I discovered boxing.
Oh yeah.
And it changed everything. It changed everything for me. I call boxing my first love because it just pulled me in. It got me. It never let me go. I fell in love with boxing. I discovered it at a boutique boxing gym, a boutique crew fitness studio. I was taking, multiple classes a day, all week long.
Oh, you loved it.
Oh, I loved it. Yes. Yeah. And that's where it all began. And that is actually where I started my fitness career, at that same boxing gym.
So with your love of boxing, is it just as an exercise regimen, or have you actually like punched people and been punched?
I have. Okay. So within the sport of boxing, you can spar, right?
Right.
And sparring is, you'll wear the headgear and a mouthpiece and you're gloved up and it's a match. It's a boxing match with another person, but it's practice, right? It's not a true, we're going for
money
this.
on the line.
We're fighting.
You're not trying to knock them out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nobody gets a trophy at the end.
Right.
Do trophies?
Right.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Belts or something.
Yeah. Belts. That's the thing.
Does that work for both? Or is it like boys get belts, girls get suspenders? Is it something?
Oh, no.
Everybody
We
gets a
still
belt?
get the belts.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Uh-huh.
Love the parity there.
That is nice.
Yes.
That is
T,
nice.
parity with a T.
But suffice it to say, I quickly learned that I don't like being punched in the face. So
Sure. Yeah, I get that.
In fairness, it would be kind of weird if you did.
Okay,
it would.
Yeah.
right. That's true.
It would. But I would, that's the sport, right? So
Yeah, totally.
I would lose all, I would forget what I was doing. I would forgo all technique and just emotions.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
boil
when
to the
you're in
surface.
there, and somebody tags you, do you just get mad? Like now it goes from being a game to you're like,
You just see
son of a-
red.
100%.
Really?
Yes. Oh, it's, especially when you're doing it with a friend, it's not good. It is not good. Nothing good will result from this, okay?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's a good way to resolve any unresolved issues between
This
friends.
is true. This is true.
If you win, it's a good way.
That's right.
If you lose,
Yeah.
it's not a good way.
Right.
Especially if what
Instead
if
of
the
talking
unresolved
this
issue?
out.
Yeah, what if the unresolved issue is you were right and they were wrong, but then they win the fight?
Oh no.
That's not resolved at all.
There's
now.
always round two. There's always round two, Tom.
Not the way
three,
I
four, five,
fight.
6.
I would never make it to a round two. Not because I won, just to be clear.
I was going to say, those are fighting words.
Yeah. No. I wasn't bragging.
He's like, it's the opposite.
Yeah,
I'm saying I would never last.
Yeah.
Tap out. White flag.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then coming back to the present time.
Yes.
Let's talk about the live workouts on Tonal. I am such a fan. I know you said you kind of blacked out during your first workout, but
Yes.
what you remember, what is it like up there actually teaching one?
Well, luckily I have taught many since, so I can speak to those. It is the live workouts, truly, there's nothing like it. And I think that the user gets the same experience as the coach. And what makes it so different is really, you're not in the same room, but you can feel the energy. There is such a tangible energy about the live classes that, knowing that you're in there with me, there are all these, members in there with me. It just makes me want to deliver this badass banging class. It's just on another level of, any of the other formats that we have.
Wow.
The energy is really what makes it so different for me.
Okay. That's exciting. I know you can feel it on our end, but it's exciting to know that it's reciprocated and you can feel it on your end. That's really cool.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you feel people Shout me out. Shout me out. Can you feel them? Like,
Yeah.
like, hey,
a lot of
me,
pressure.
me.
For sure. I will say the one thing I wish that I could shout out everyone. It's it's a stress. I'm up there and I'm like, oh, I need to get all these names, but it's like constantly like a marquee that's just like rolling through, a little bit different from what you see at home when you're taking the class.
Okay.
It doesn't look like the ever-changing scroll at the top. I can't see people's pictures. I'll just get like the name and the achievement. So I also don't always see everyone who's in there.
Sure.
I will only see like a select grouping. So again, I wish that I could give everyone a shout out.
Well, maybe they'll be able to change that. And maybe that's coming in a future enhancement. You never know.
You never know.
But you probably still don't have time to shout us all out.
Yeah,
so.
that seems. It seems like that would ultimately make for a pretty boring live.
That's true.
We'll take a couple minutes at the beginning of class.
Right.
Let me say hello to everyone.
You're like, I signed up for this Tonal Live class and it turned into a high school graduation.
Right. Yeah, that could go not well.
Yeah.
So now tell us about power hit classes. And I read somewhere, because Tonal is so great about putting out so much information about these. I read that for now, like all the Tonal Live classes are quote unquote okay for an off program day.
Okay.
Is that accurate? And what's different about power hit compared to like the strength classes that you guys are teaching?
Okay. So yes, power hit and strength are the two main modalities that you can find on live right now. It's possible.
I was like, right now.
Possible that could evolve in the future.
Yeah.
But strength classes will be like a muscle group focused workout, upper body, lower body. They're going to be a little bit slower paced, if you will, as if you're lifting for hypertrophy, you're lifting for strength, increases in muscle size. And then power hit is going to be a little bit faster pace. And those are generally full body. There will be the occasional power hit that might be muscle group focused, but they're generally full body, and they have 3 blocks. You'll have a prime block, the power block, where the goal, the aim is to make every rep go above that 80% output mark on your power output. And then the burn block, which will be the final block of the workout. And the intention there is to just hit a high pace burnout to close out the whole session. I would agree with that any of the live classes could be done even if you're in the middle of a program.
Okay.
I mean, the programs are designed to be all that you need in that time frame, whatever the time frame may be. But I would just, use your best judgment. How are you feeling? Did you just hit upper body yesterday and then this is an upper body class the next day? Maybe not the best idea. You always want to give yourself adequate rest time and make sure that your muscles are recovering. So, but yes, I will say, yes, you can definitely do the live classes in addition to a program, an ongoing program.
Awesome.
That is good to know.
Yeah.
I would have thought that you had to like map it out somehow.
Now you don't have any excuses, Tom.
Stop making excuses, Tom.
That's kind of my superpower.
Well, we just knocked them all down.
Yeah. Not that easy. I didn't exercise for 50 years. You think that's all it takes is to knock down one of my excuses?
I was trying.
Yeah. Cool.
You didn't know what you were getting into today, did you, Tom?
Back at you.
Touche.
So what is the social zone and how does it work?
The social zone is literally the ongoing marquee of other users involved in the class with you. it works. You can send out cheers to other members, to other users, whether they've hit a milestone or an achievement or a PR or anything like that. They will populate at the start of your scroll, but you can send out cheers to anybody in the class with you. I like the social zone because it makes you aware of other users, other members in the community, and other users who are frequenting the same time slot or the same classes or same coach that you are. And it just allows for more support and that more feeling of like, tight knit community and more recognition amongst this, these people who are going to the same classes that you are, that you maybe didn't know of before.
Yeah, that's a good point. You start seeing the same leaderboard names over and over again. You're like, oh, Joe is always exercising the same time I am. Let me make sure I hit the little cheer button. I love that.
It's a new friend. Joe is a new friend.
Apparently Tom is not, though. He's gonna not.
I'm full up on friends. I'm good.
Wow. Okay. All right.
You hit that point. Where you're just like, I don't need any more.
That's enough. Yeah.
And you were mentioning earlier that it looks different for you. The social zone on your end looks different than what we see at home.
It does. Honestly, pretty basically from an aesthetic standpoint, I'm not seeing exactly what you're seeing on your trainer at home. I can't see people's avatars and things like that, but I can see the name and I can see achievements.
Okay. A big question that comes up all the time is, can the instructor see me? I feel like that has started to pop up in the official Tonal community. I know that they cannot, but I also, I feel like we need to address it because people might be hearing this and they've wanted to ask that question. They don't
want to hear it from an instructor.
Yeah. So just you can clarify. You cannot see us, correct?
Official PSA, I cannot see you at home. Wear whatever you want. Wear nothing if you want. No worries. There are no worries here. You're still working out in the privacy of your home.
That's good to know. Although I that sounds painful, and I'll leave it at that.
It get weird.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna want to disinfect that yoga mat.
Okay. So what is the difference between like the live classes and the encore classes?
Sure.
And then you've got on demand.
Sure. So the live classes are obviously in real time. They're ongoing. You can engage with the users in the class at the same time as you. I know that you're in the class. That would be the only time that you can engage directly with the coach, or the coach can engage directly with you.
Okay.
The encore will be a replay of the class the following day. And then on demand I think it's about, don't quote me on this, it could be about like a 72-hour turnaround when you can finally see the class, revisit it. Maybe you took it live or you took it encore and you happen to really enjoy it, or you want to revisit it a week from now. It will be on demand for you for the future. But again, in those encore and on demand classes, you won't be able to communicate directly with me. But I won't be able to shout you out.
How is the encore different than the on demand then?
So the encore it's like a quick turnaround kind of thing. Like, hey, this just happened.
Okay.
It's like a few hours later or maybe the next day.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yes.
And then eventually it will live in a location that you can access at your leisure.
So how you consume it is the same, but where you find it on your trainer would be different.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
So, and then where can people go to find like a schedule of all the live classes so they can plot out their week?
Sure. If we're talking like the app or even on the trainer, you can look at you can select workouts, programs when you're scrolling through the content. If you click on the workout tab, you'll see there's a scroll specifically for live workouts, and you can tap to see view full live schedule. And the schedule will populate typically at least 2 weeks in advance. So you can at least plan out, your next 2 weeks and say, oh, I really like to take this class. And you can see the time, the instructor, and even what we'll be doing in the class.
Which I love.
Yeah.
Love being able to see that. Because the Tom hates the front squats. Like he really struggles with those. He gets really mad at them.
Yeah, I can't. No.
And I was telling him, you can't switch those out in a live class. So it's really great that you can see ahead of time. Oh, that one has the front squats. So I'm going to stick with one that has the goblet squats,
Right. No, I feel that. I feel that way about Bulgarian split squats. So I understand.
Those are pretty bad. I've gotten better-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a continuum.
Right. Of course.
Yeah.
It is a continuum.
But they're definitely, I don't dread them like I used to.
Yeah. That's we get better, but it never gets easier.
Right?
There we go.
Yeah. That took Tom a while to realize. He kept thinking that when he would do the weights on tonal that it would get easier.
Yeah, but I guess the whole point is that they always just go oh, can you do that? Boop. It's like a carrot and stick.
Yeah.
And I hate carrots, and they're beating me with that stick. So it's not a good combination.
Except for how effective it is.
It is effective.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
But yeah.
And then they go, great job. You did 8 with ease. Let's bump up your weight just a little.
There you
go. Totally.
Yeah.
But yeah, it did click for me one day. I guess it never is easier because it's because then it stops working.
Right.
Right. Exactly.
Like this?
Exactly. Constant progress. Progress. We're here for it.
Yep. He's the only person I know that doesn't get excited whenever the little PR thing happens. It's he gets a PR and he doesn't celebrate. He's just what? Whatever.
Celebrate every win, Tom. Every win.
I guess I just look at it as well, it threw on an extra pound because it was time. It doesn't feel like an achievement as much as it feels like they just went kink and now you got
totally is.
But you couldn't do that last week, man.
When you're running or on the bike and you're just I worked extra hard. I feel like, they said now you lift this and then I did it. It doesn't feel like a thing I chose to do.
But it is because it's incremental. So I keep telling you. I celebrate it for him though.
It's funny. She's down here.
I'll be running next to him on the treadmill and he'll do that and I'll be like, PR.
The first, she did, after the third time she did it, I was like, oh, is that what that noise meant?
That's my challenge for you. Every time you hit a PR, now you have to throw your hands in the air or just let out a woohoo.
That's extra exertion.
Oh my gosh.
Woo! That's a little woo.
I don't want to be working out in the first place. Now you want me to do more?
You could do a woo.
Yeah.
Woo.
Come on.
Oh,
yeah. Perfect.
That's the worst woo.
Doesn't even require enthusiasm as long as the word comes out.
She's great. She takes it. Even though you're that was the worst woo, she's still happy with it. That's a good coach right there.
Baby steps. Baby steps.
Oh, I love it.
She's going to, what's the 1 pound equivalent of incrementally adjusting my woos?
Yeah. She's going to start messaging you. How was your woo this week?
Okay, next time with the woo, just a little bit of jazz hands.
Yeah. A little extra.
Yeah.
What about being able to RSVP to a live class? Can you do that yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet, but we're not writing it off, I think that will be extremely helpful. Even though you can see the schedule a couple weeks in advance and you can say, oh, hey, I'm going to pencil this in. I think it's going to be exciting to be able to see who else will be there with you. Just kind of it adds to the accountability factor, which I think is so important.
I agree. And like you were saying earlier, if you're already doing a program or if you're doing cross training, it's nice to be able to plan your week completely and be able to see this is how it's going to fit in. I love that ability. And also it's oh, wait, I didn't see this one, or you kind of remind yourself to go back and look at it again. And then you don't know if you've already seen it. Did I already think I was going to do that one? It's just nice to already have it done.
I agree. So, we'll be on the lookout for that.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
So has there been anything about the live workouts that has surprised you?
surprised me. I think honestly, it's what's surprising to me is even on day one, I mean, Krista, you were there, 307 people in the class, like mind blown. That's crazy. It's been amazing to see the interest because we really had no idea, based on schedule or just preference. Are people really going to be here for the live experience, or do they rather enjoy on-demand content,
Totally. I would think, especially because I feel like strength training doesn't have a live component like baked into it historically, the same way like a spin class does.
Right.
Or
Exactly.
a class or,
Exactly. So it's been interesting to sort of experiment with that too, because as the coach, I'm up there, trying to, there are a lot of elements to delivering a good class. Of course, there are a lot of things that the coach is thinking about when we're up there. And at the forefront of my mind is always you. It's the user. To me, it's about the user experience. And, even if I'm up there trying to, get you guys to laugh or trying to tell a story or trying to bring home like a theme of the class, I need to remind myself that you're at home probably struggling through this set of RDLs and you're not even hearing what I'm saying. I'm here putting all the pressure on myself to, exactly. Close out your story, Kendall, make your point. And then I'm like, they can't even hear you. They don't know what's going on.
They can't hear you over the sound of themselves cussing at you.
That's that part. But what's so funny about that is that like sometimes I need that distraction to keep pushing. So like I love the fact that you're telling stories or that you're distracting me with something else, because it's like it makes that moment go by faster. It kind of disengages my brain from that hurts. I don't want to do that. And so I feel like that's better, but not always, there's times that I'm right in it. So it's like, I guess people just have really different, there's such a huge way that you could experience it, a variance of how you could experience it. That's the point. Yeah.
I appreciate that feedback. I like that a lot. I like to hear that because, I don't know. I know that you're there and I might get an Instagram afterwards, a sweaty selfie, things like that, which I love. I love that. But yeah, having that feedback and knowing like what you appreciate is super valuable to me. So I'm going to throw it right back at you. What has been the most surprising thing or the most enjoyable thing? What do you like the most about live classes? I
love the engagement. I feel super pumped to be part of something. Like it's so energizing to know that all these people are working out at the same time that I am, and I can see them and that we're working out at the exact same moment you guys are. You guys are on the West Coast and we're here in the Midwest. It's so infrequent that I get to work out with like whenever everybody does like the virtual group workouts. I don't get to do a lot of those. So the times that I have been able to do the live classes, I am just so stoked to be like right in the middle of it. I love it. It keeps me going. Yes,
that's awesome.
And you can ask Tom, but he hasn't done any of them. So
Tom, I feel so upset about this. And
I can make up an answer. I really enjoy the spirit of community. It enriches my soul.
For some reason, I feel like you're BSing us right now.
Maybe it's that grin he has.
Yeah.
This is the only grin I got. It's in our wedding.
Uh-oh.
You did not make that face in our wedding.
I'm like, can you believe I got this chick to marry? What?
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, listen, tomorrow I'm teaching at 1:30. I hope to see you there.
I'll be at work.
Yeah. See, in all seriousness, like we work during most of the live classes. So I think that he's probably not going to get to try until the East Coast classes someday,
Okay.
Start.
Okay.
That's when I think he'll be able to start that. he's not good at working out at night. So, the other times are like 8 o'clock here and I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I get that.
Really early.
Are you guys early? Are you early birds?
So early. Yeah. I usually get up between 5 and 5:30 every morning. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
And you'll find this out the older you get.
Yes.
You're not there yet. But,
Yeah, no,
the older you get, the harder it is to sleep in.
It's
You
really
just
annoying.
Wake up
Really annoying.
early, even
Okay.
when you don't want to.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I'm also coming into this phase of my life where I just really appreciate the mornings more than the evenings. I don't know. And there's something about like the morning light and the morning air and feeling like you can get your day started rather than in the evening. It's like, oh, the day is inevitably coming to an end. What am I going to do? Even if I stay up, just watch TV, like nothing good
TV's
happens.
awesome.
Nothing good happens in those late hours.
It's true, and it's chaotic. I feel like it's just like, especially we have a family, we have kids at home and stuff. So it gets really crazy in the evenings. It's like somebody's got to go to a practice and somebody's got trouble with homework and what are we having for dinner, and we all eat separate things, and it's just very chaotic. And the mornings is quiet. No one wants to talk in the morning, and I love it.
That is me. Don't talk to me until I've had at least 1.5 cups of coffee.
Yes.
So when you're doing your own workouts with Tonal, do you prefer the programs or just individual one-offs?
I enjoy them both for different reasons, but I am admittedly a one-off. More oftenly, I'm taking one-off classes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
You have a fear of commitment.
I do, yes.
Let's dig into that a little.
Let me have a moment of honesty right here. Even as a trainer, a fitness professional, I have struggled with developing routine in the sense of programming. I know a lot of trainers who truly hire out, seek advice and help from other fitness professionals to provide a program for them. Because even though this is something that we do all day, every day, it's like, sometimes you don't know the best thing for yourself. Sure. But two, working and teaching the classes and filming on-demand content, it can really throw any type of routine that you have way off the hinges. So I do tend to do the one-offs simply because I never know what I'm going to be doing on any given day. So if I had to film a leg workout today, then I know that tomorrow I'll just I'll find something that hits upper body, core, something like that. And I can just pick and choose.
Oh, that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
I guess it's kind of like how psychologists go see psychologists.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
everybody needs a little help sometimes.
Right. Totally.
Yeah. And I feel like it's easier to make a plan for somebody else than it is to follow a plan for yourself, because you can second guess yourself and make excuses for yourself in a way that you don't for other people. So that makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Yep. And also, again, that accountability factor. If you have another coach creating a program for you, they're checking in on you. How's it going? Have you even started? And that's good. Sometimes we even need that, I mean, we're human. So
that makes perfect sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Also, it's nice to hear that, sometimes I think as people who are consuming the content you guys are creating, it is really easy for us to be like, well, you do everything that you're doing is perfect and everything we're doing isn't. And so we're just trying to be what you guys are. So it's great to hear that, like, yeah, you guys need a little direction too. You're not these all powerful beings. I mean, you guys are obviously amazing, but that you're people. Like it's good for us to remember that.
100%. And I will say, don't believe all the smiles.
Okay.
Even though I have a smile on my face during those Bulgarian split squats, I am experiencing pain right alongside you. Yes.
Do you guys turn down the weights? How intense it is? Do you turn it down a little?
Maybe a little bit, especially during the live classes. If it was full throttle, it could get pretty crazy out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, already as it is with the HIIT classes, there's a lot of body weight plyometrics tied in, and the class generally moves a lot faster. So you will catch me with my hands on my knees often. and it is very real.
Well, you know what? I shouldn't be able to catch you because I should be in the middle of mine. So
Exactly. I will always say, hey, please join me. Put your hands on your knees. Let's just breathe.
let's take a second.
Yeah.
Although, and I bet when it's not a live class, when you're taping something, you probably still need to turn on the weights because they're probably like, okay, now from the other angle.
Yeah.
Now-
Like you do it 8 times.
You know,
Yeah.
so you're not, if we're doing 8 of them, you're doing 40 of them.
Right.
This is true. There's a lot of that. We call those pickups.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pickups. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
Reps on reps on reps.
Yeah.
Oof.
and fit that into your personal training plan, right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah, exactly. You're basically just overdosing on fitness.
yeah.
It kind of sounds pretty lovely. I'm not going to lie.
I think it sounds like hell on earth.
I love it. I love it. I am here for it.
We come at it from very, very different angles.
Boy, we do.
Whenever somebody talks about, I love to get my workout and the endorphins, and I'm just like, what the hell are you talking about? When does that start?
He's like, when the workout is over, that's when I say that.
Yeah. I'm like,
I always tell him, but you like the results, don't you?
she does.
I like the results. That's for sure.
This is sounding good to me. You two are a great compliment.
Thank goodness. So do you have any advice for people who are just starting their tonal journey?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Tonal is an incredible piece of technology, and you have the technology there to support you. It's truly going to get to know you better than you know yourself. It's going to know exactly what you need. But you also have the support of the coaches and the community. And I really think that you should lean on that. We have such an incredible community of people who are there to support, but also provide advice and talk about what their journey's been like and provide encouragement, all the things. And I really think that that should be step number one for anyone who is new to, their journey with Tonal, because it can be a little bit daunting in the beginning, because it is such an advanced, incredible piece of technology. And there is a learning curve. 100% there is a learning curve. So give yourself some grace as you step into this new chapter and enjoy it. Remember that it is to be enjoyed. And just start slow. Actually, I do believe that the live classes.
Hang on just a second.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Our dog's in here with a chew toy.
I can't believe she never does this, and she just
stop chewing on the
ran down the stairs.
I think it's me. I think it could be my voice because
Well, she doesn't have headphones on.
Yeah, she doesn't have puppy
But that
headphones,
would be
although that
adorable.
would be adorable for sure. Oh my God, I would love that. Did she?
I was going to say, I have
No, I'm
2
from
dogs.
Do you have 2 dogs?
I have 2 dogs. Yes, I locked them out of the room for fear that they would do the same thing.
She has
She's
never done
she's
that
like,
ever.
I have 2 dogs. I locked them out of the room because I'm professional.
Right? We can read between the lines.
No, guys, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, sorry. Can you
Too funny.
continue?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do truly think that anyone who is just starting their tonal journey is coming in at such a pivotal time, because they now have access to the live classes, which I think are like the best jumping off point, because you have the coach there in real time. You have the support of the community there in real time. You're just being introduced to all these incredible elements of what Tonal is and what makes it, so amazing, and also the energy. And the coach is there to truly spell out everything for you, whether it's, no matter what the level of the class is, they're truly for everyone. And yeah, I think that this is just the best time to be just starting your tonal journey. And I really would recommend starting it with a live class.
Ooh, that's jumping right in.
Yeah.
And just a
right
reminder for people who are scared of it, that the instructor cannot see you.
Cannot see you.
And they will not call you out and say things like, you're not lifting heavy enough. There's none of that. None of that.
No.
There's no shaming from tonal coaches ever. So don't be scared of live classes.
Yes, absolutely not. Only positivity. Only
Which I love.
positivity.
I love that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Before we let you go, remind everybody where they can find you on the interwebs.
Oh, a little shameless self-plug.
Yes,
Exactly.
please.
You can find me on Instagram. My handle is @WoodySnacks. You can also find me in the Tonal Facebook community, just Kendall Wood. I'm often posting in there to talk about new releases, and maybe I'll drop in and hit a couple replies every now and then. And you can also find me on Your Trainer. I'm Coach Woody, and I teach live classes quite often, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I have one tomorrow, November 12th at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. And Tom is going to join the encore.
I don't think that counts as a live class. But is that your baby
experience.
step? That's your baby step.
That's a baby step.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
We do.
Thank you both. This was such a blast.
It really was.
So I guess that brings this episode to a close, the final one of 2021. We will
I feel like we should have like poppers and stuff. Boom, boom, boom. Happy New Year.
there we go. That was just like fireworks.
I know.
They're probably like, how do they afford all the
I know.
fireworks?
That was some really amazing sound.
You're a regular Michael Winslow. So until next year, where can people find you?
People can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Crystal D. O'Keefe. They can find me on Instagram or Twitter or the Tonal leaderboard at Clip Out Crystal.
And you can find me on Twitter at Roger Kubert or on Facebook at facebook.com/Tom O'Keefe. Find the show online at facebook.com/Superset Podcast. Don't forget you can watch all of these episodes at our YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Clip Out, the name of the other show, but all the episodes live there. So go check it out. So until then, until next time, thanks for tuning in and keep lifting.
Smart training, there you are, customized, make it right, AI, form and vibe, Superset will show you what it's all about, it's a tonal workout.
The Superset is made possible in part by support from Tonal.